Well, hello and welcome to potentially the coolest named city in the whole world, Ouagadougou, the capital city of Burkina Faso. Yep, I arrived in here yesterday on Air Burkina on a really cool flight. If you've not seen that already, check out that video. But today we're saying goodbye to Burkina Faso and saying hello to a load more really cool African countries as we make our way the entire length of Africa on a Boeing 737, hopping off at all these little countries along the way. So let's head across to the airport, let's get on the plane and yeah, let's go for an adventure. Bonjour monsieur. Passport, oui. Merci. 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 Au revoir. Merci. Passport, oui. Passport. Désolé. Bonjour. Hello. That's a problem? I don't know.
The problem?
Okay.
Then we can check it.
No problem, thank you. À gauche, oui. Deuxième étage. So 30 minutes into an African 10-minute wait now, waiting. There's a problem with my check-in, so yeah, no idea what's going on. Hopefully we've got enough time to make the flight.
No, it's complicated because the ticket is not attached.
Oh, okay.
Not attached. Please wait.
Oh, okay, so wait more. Okay, well, there's still time for...
No problem, no problem
Okay.
for you. You go.
Okay.
Because we know you come early.
Okay, so wait
Please
more,
wait
yeah.
here. Please wait.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
C'est bon? Tu as fait filmer?
So I've been here an hour now since I arrived at the airport and still not even checked in, still waiting to sort this issue out with my ticket, whatever the issue is. So yeah, I really hope we make it. The flight leaves in sort of an hour from now, so yeah, fingers crossed. Thank you. The fenêtre? Passe fenêtre?
No.
Merci. Merci beaucoup, monsieur Alpha. Oui. Perfect. Ah, perfect. Au revoir. This way, okay. Merci. Pardon. Yes. Alright, so finally all checked in for A Sky. Coffee time before I get my flight down to my first stop of today, which is Lomé in Togo. All those delays due to sort of ticketing issues apparently with their system, all sorted now, although with the delay somebody else is nabbing a window seat for one of the flights, so yeah, that's good. We'll see what we can do about that later on, but never mind, we're checked in, we're through security. I'm waiting for my flight now down to Lomé in Togo, first stop of the day with A Sky. So I found out this morning when I went through my suitcase that airport security in Dakar had obviously taken a shining to my electric toothbrush and it's no longer in my bag. They've taken it off me, the robbing gits. It's just so annoying. Like, I carry so much stuff in that bag, and the most annoying part is that with everything that's in there, microphones, sound equipment, cables, all sorts of stuff, the one thing that they've taken is the one thing that's just going to annoy me a little tiny bit every single morning when I go to brush my teeth and I have to use a manual toothbrush instead of the electric one. That's the most annoying thing about it. Never mind. And even more annoying, I've just spilled coffee down me as well. Great start to the day. So yeah, things going brilliantly so far on A Sky. Let's see if things pick up once we get on the plane soon, hopefully. Can't wait to get down to Joburg. Merci. finally on board the A-Sky 737-700 first leg today down to Lomé in Togo. There's my view out the window. That was a bit of a nightmare actually. Getting on the plane here, but never mind, we're all on board. Relatively comfy for economy. Not bad leg room. Gorgeous, gorgeous brown leather. Brown fabric seats. Nice. See what it's like on the flight down to Togo. The first leg on my epic A-Sky adventure today then took me south from Ouagadougou to Lomé, the capital city of Togo. Flight time on this leg was 1 hour and 8 minutes, cruising at 39,000 feet. Alright, so airborne from Ouagadougou on our first leg today, which is down to Lomé in Togo. I've got 14 hours on board A-Sky 737s today, all the way down to South Africa from here in West Africa in Ouagadougou, basically hopping all the way down through loads of different countries on the way. But yeah, first one will be Togo, landing there in about an hour's time. Looking forward to this. Snack service has turned up for this flight, or shall I say it's been thrown at us. It's quite funny, she sort of came around shouting at people to put their tables down and just threw a sandwich at them, and that's what we've got. It's poulet, so chicken sandwich today, and there's a drinks cart on the way around as well, so we'll give that a go in a minute. Not bad for an hour long flight down to Togo. Relatively nice, not too bad, and it's not dry, quite tasty actually. Well, there we go then, started our descent down into Lomé, the capital city of Togo.
Staff for any assistance. We advise you to keep your boarding card with you while in the terminal.
See you later, nice to meet you. Merci, au revoir.
Merci, au revoir.
Transit, Johannesburg?
Yeah.
So they made it as far as Togo at least. Nice little flight down on A-Sky. This is the only point today where I actually get off the plane. The rest of the flight is just one long flight with 2 stops on the way in 2 different Congos, but not for another 3 hours yet before we head off. So I'm going to grab myself a bite to eat here in Lomé at the little cafe here, and then see about getting on our next leg, the mammoth 11-hour express down the entire length of Africa, seemingly, to Joburg. Very nice looking cheeseburger. Give that a go. Some chips. Nice. So the airport here in Lomé is actually quite nice and modern. They've had a new terminal built, I believe, and it's sort of like a hub for West Africa at the moment. Pretty much anywhere you want to go in West Africa, you sort of have to connect through here. In fact, as I speak, there's an Ethiopian Dreamliner touching down right outside the window. Look at that. Ethiopian. who fly through here quite a bit. Basically, Lomé is the Atlanta airport of West Africa. Everybody connects in here wherever you end up going, and it's a very modern airport, although it is starting to creak. Even the size of the new terminal is still really busy, as you would expect, bearing in mind that everybody sort of flies through here. It's quite nice. Looking forward to my next leg, getting on another ASky plane all the way down to Joburg next. And we're stopping off in both Congos, not just one. We get two for the price of one on this trip. We're going to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and then taking the world's shortest international flight to the slightly less democratic, just the Republic of Congo, which is just over the river, before we then head on down to Joburg Airport. So yeah, it's going to be a good trip. We'll start and head towards the gates in a few minutes, I think, and see what the next flight has in store for us. Ah oui, merci, Catherine. One thing I can't sort of get across in the video is, although this is quite a nice modern terminal, it's just how hot this airport is. It's so unbelievably hot, sort of sweltering. I've gone to get some ice cold water to try and cool off a bit because I'm feeling like I'm about to pass out. The ASky gates downstairs are absolutely rammed, so I've come up and found a quiet space up here for a little bit while we wait for the next flight. And then I'll head down literally when it's time to board, I think, because it's rammed down there. It stinks as well down there. It's just so many people, hot, sweaty, cramped little bit of the airport. So yeah, I'm going to sit up here in a bit. It's slightly cooler. It's still really hot, but it's slightly cooler than it was downstairs. Get some hydration in me, and yeah, hopefully pretty soon we'll be on our way. I'm actually starting to really feel ill with this heat now. It's unreal. I've sort of just drank 1.5 litres of water. Just downed it in one. Feeling slightly better, but still, it is just so hot and stuffy. No fresh air whatsoever in this terminal building. So yeah, struggling a bit. Just need to get on the plane and get some ice cold air on me. I think, because I just feel like I'm going to pass out any minute. Really not good. I think we'll be boarding sort of in the next 20 minutes or so, hopefully. And then actually getting onto something that's air conditioned at least. It's possible to change to window seats?
No,
not now.
possible.
Okay.
Bienvenue à bord.
Thank you. Merci. Alright, so on board once again ASky for the next long leg down to Johannesburg, stopping off at like 15 different places along the way, seeming a bit, never mind. And I'm in my aisle seat, so hopefully at some point I might be able to switch with somebody and try and get a bit of a view. We'll see once they're boarded if they can see if I can switch seats, but other than that I'm sort of here, and might be a good chance to get some rest, I don't know.
De sécurité chaque fois que la consigne des ceintures est allumée. Pour l'attacher, insérez l'embout métallique dans la boucle et ajustez.
The next leg on my adventure today then took me southeast from Lomé to the capital of the Republic of the Congo, Brazzaville. Flight time on this leg, 3 hours and 42 minutes, cruising at 35 and 37,000 feet. Alright then, so airborne from Lomé, heading to our second stop today, down to Brazzaville in the Congo. Quite a way south, it's about 2.5 hours south from Lomé down to Brazzaville. And then we've got a bit of a wait on the ground, and we pick up more passengers, and then we sort of hop across to the other side, onto the other Congo, to Kinshasa, before we head down finally to Joburg, arriving in late this evening. So yeah, it's going to be a long old day, but we're finally airborne, and actually I'm starting to get some cool air through these air vents now, so hopefully cooling off a little bit, get a little bit more water inside me, and try and relax on this leg down to Brazzaville.
It's time for the Noel Phillips Lou Review.
Right, shall we have a Lou review then on the Ole Sky 737? Here is the Lou, complete with skid marks in the bowl, you don't need to see that. And then we've got just the usual bits and pieces, hand sanitizer. Not bad nick, it's not in bad nick really, apart from that bit, but it's reasonable. 737 bathroom. We are only sort of 20 minutes out of Lomé at the moment, so give it time for that to change, but at the moment it's pretty clean, which is quite nice indeed. Cabin crew just really not just grumpy as anything. I mean, honestly, I think they could give Russian flight attendants an ode to Olga over in Kostroma a run for her money, and with the whole kind of very nice. So they said, "Oh, any chance that I could like switch to a seat, because there's like half a dozen empty rows at the back of the plane?" And I just got a reply saying, "No." Okay, fair enough. So never mind. I'm happy where I am. I've got a nice chappie at the side of me who doesn't speak a word of English or French or any other language, but it seems. But he seems like a nice enough chap, and he doesn't mind me filming over him out the window, so that's nice, indeed. So yeah, we've got, oh, Lord knows how many hours on this flight now down to Johannesburg, but we've got 2 stops on the way. First stop now to Brazzaville in Congo. So yeah, looking forward to it.
That was the Noel Phillips Lou Review.
Alright, so a bit of a snack service turned up. We've got some Fanta and some Ape Rogue. Looks like a bit of a cake or something. Oh, I don't know what it is. Nuts. Is it sweet? Is it savoury? Who knows? We'll try that in a minute. I think I figured out the reason I'm so wiped out today. I didn't really sleep that well up in Ouagadougou. Obviously knowing that the situation there, and finding out late last night that the hotel that I was in, that I was staying in, was the target of a attack a few years ago, where they basically went room to room targeting Westerners in the middle of the night. So that, I didn't sleep very well. Every little noise I was awake. Even the air conditioning coming on sort of woke me up like multiple times through the night. So I'm just wiped out, and I suppose there's also a bit of relief to finally be out of Burkina and heading south to Joburg on this flight. So yeah, I'm probably quite wiped out actually, and then the heat obviously down in Lomé really didn't help at all. So yeah, never mind, we're on the plane. It's relatively cool. I've got my juice and my apero, and with me not having the window seat, I might actually be able to get a little bit of kip on this flight as well. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how we get on. Alright, we've got a hot meal on this flight as well. There it is. So what we got? We got a water cob, cold cob, chocolate something, mangy looking salad, and a mystery box. Let's have a look what's in the mystery box. Oh, pasta and chicken. That was quite decent actually. That looks fairly nice. I'm going to put my little cob in there so it warms up, and also my batter. I'll put it on there. Now, there we go. Yeah, it's not too bad at all, really. Not bad for a 2-hour flight. In economy anyway, you get a full meal service. That's quite nice. Give it a go. Let's try the chicken. Tremendously chewy. Tastes a bit microwaved, but it's not too bad. Can't really complain, can you? Quite reasonable, although I normally find a way to, but yeah, quite reasonable this one. So yeah. So there we go. Winner, winner, chicken dinner on A Sky Airlines. Alright then, started our descent down into the next stop, Brazzaville, in the Republic of the Congo. Been trying to get some sleep here, but I seem to have the world's most noisiest passengers right in the row behind me, and like sound like they're having a party and swinging around, pulling on the seat and everything. So yeah, it's not been a great flight, not very restful. But let's see, hopefully they bugger off at Brazzaville. And I might get a bit of rest on the next flight. I don't know how many are going to be on for the next leg and then the leg down to Joburg. I don't know, we'll find out, I guess. But yeah, hopefully not long now we'll be landing into Brazzaville, the next stop on today's adventure. Alright, we landed in Brazzaville in the Republic of the Congo, the first Congo today. Well, I say landed, it's more of a sort of mining expedition. I know they're doing mining down here, but I didn't think that A-Sky were a part of it, but we nearly were with how hard we hit that runway and sort of went through it, but never mind, we're here now, almost intact I think. And a bit of a wait before we head on to the next Congo on today's adventure.
Messieurs, s'il vous plaît, veuillez rester assis et gardez votre ceinture attachée.
So then the next flight that we're taking is actually the world's shortest international flight, and it goes from here in Republic of the Congo in Brazzaville to Kinshasa, which is the capital of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, which is just about 16 miles away across the other side of a river. And this is the world's shortest international flight that connects the two, between Republic of and the more Democratic Republic of. So yeah, it's about a 10-minute flight, I think. So I'm not sure many people will be jumping on for this particular leg, although they might obviously be connecting on down to Joburg, so we'll see. But I've sort of I've sat over here just in case this seat becomes free. We'll see. But it's dark out anyway now, so I can't really see a great deal. But yeah, fingers crossed, and we'll enjoy the world's shortest commercial flight, the shortest commercial international flight, that is. Leg 3 today then took me on the 16-mile flight from Brazzaville in the Republic of Congo to Kinshasa in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Flight time today was 10 minutes, cruising at 5,000 feet. Well, there you go, no sooner have we taken off. The landing gear's come up, we've done a 180 turn and we're now starting our descent down into Kinshasa, on the other side of the river, just literally like 15 miles away. There we go, 9 minutes 45 seconds on that, and an international border crossed. Another country ticked off. So there we go, on the ground in Kinshasa, 9 minutes 45 seconds flying time, and we are in another country, yay! Pretty cool airport. So I've just seen a cargo DC-8 parked up as we taxied in, not seen one of them in a while. We've got a couple of Congo Airways planes outside. Very mysterious country this, isn't it? It's the Democratic Republic of the Congo, so it's so big. Yeah, it's somewhere that I've don't really know much about, to be honest. But maybe for a future trip at some point it might be nice to come and visit. But for now, we'll just stay on board once again, and we'll see if any more passengers join us here in Kinshasa for the leg down to Joburg. And I'm expecting there might be a few people on the next flight down, but we'll see. So I just spoke to the cabin crew. Apparently there's just 38 passengers on the next leg from Kinshasa down to Joburg, which is surprising. I thought it would be busier than that, but we'll see. Bless her, they've had a really long day. They fly all the way from Lomé to Joburg with these stop-offs on the way, so it's a proper long day for them on the A-Sky 737s. So I just said to her, hopefully you can get a little bit of rest on this flight. It might be quite nice for them, hey. But yeah, just refueling now for the 3-hour schlep down the rest of Africa, down to Joburg. I just want to get there now.
I wish a warm welcome to our new passengers on board this flight KP702 Johannesburg. Our flight to Johannesburg.
Alright then, here we go. Last leg of the day. Kinshasa to Joburg. Just under 4 hours, the longest leg yet. Hopefully I might get some sleep because there's not many people on the plane. It's lovely and quiet. 38 passengers in total for this leg, so hopefully nice and quiet. And we're just taxiing out to the runway here at Kinshasa. My last flight today then took me south to Johannesburg, crossing the Congo, Angola, Zambia, Zimbabwe and Botswana before landing into Johannesburg. Flight time on this leg 3 hours and 46 minutes, cruising at 39 and 41,000 feet. Alright, last leg, airborne, Kinshasa to Johannesburg, just under 4 hours flying time, and the home straight. Let's do this. Alright, so dinner is served. Shall we have a look and see what it is? Let's see what we get. Ooh, not sure what it is, but it looks quite tasty. There wasn't any option, it was just sort of given to us as is. So let's have a try and see what it is. Alright, let's have a taste. It's like chicken, but I don't know. Maybe it's pork. It's very nice though, whatever it is. A little bit of rice. Quite a nice dinner. Thank you, A-Sky. Alright, so they very kindly handed out blankets on this flight, which is quite nice. Finished my dinner. Gonna try and get some rest now. About 3 hours now until we land down in Joburg. It's nice and quiet. There's barely anybody on the plane, so hopefully they'll dim the lights in a few minutes, and then see about getting a little bit of shut-eye because it's a really, really late night. Arrival into Joburg at like 1:20 in the morning or so, and then I've got to get to my hotel, so yeah, see if I can get a bit of rest. While I'm travelling, and even while I'm not, one of the key parts of my tech arsenal is Surfshark. It's a VPN that protects my data from nefarious goings-on wherever I am in the world. I have it on my phone, my iPad and my Mac, and it protects my personal information wherever I am. It means I can catch up on Netflix shows such as The Office or listen to my Spotify playlists even when I'm in countries where that's not possible. I just flick on the VPN and I'm browsing the net just like I'm at home. It's also great to let me access my favourite streaming sites on Wi-Fi that may block streaming altogether. Through a VPN, your data's completely encrypted so you can sit and watch your favourite TV shows even at 39,000 feet. Surfshark are offering you an 83% discount and 3 months free when you use my promo code Noel Phillips at the link on the screen now. Alright then, we have started our descent down into Johannesburg. Finally we'll be on the ground in about 15 minutes. I managed about a 2 hour sleep actually. I did the old poor man's flatbed solution and laid across the 3 seats with all the armrests up, which was quite nice. Not the most comfortable, but it did alright. I managed to get a couple of hours sleep I think, so actually feeling so much better now than when we left Lomé earlier. Just incredible just what a couple of hours sleep can do, and cooling down a bit as well, of course. Bless them, they put the AC on full whack, knowing how hot it had been up there, so I was mentioning it to them, and they bless them, they decided to reduce the AC down to cool everything down a little bit, which is quite nice. And I managed to get like 2 hours sleep, so yeah. I can see South Africa out the window. Yay! I'll be on the ground very soon.
Seated de superface, equipe el bagagestad antido facilmente señas with switch off.
Thank you, bye-bye.
As always, a massive thank you to my patrons for helping to make these videos possible. You can join them at the link on the screen now for access to my WhatsApp group, live Zoom calls with me, and much, much more.
Thank you. It's alright, no problem. But I got my eye on it. You don't win like that very often, so. No problem at all. Have a good night. I made it! Yes, finally made it to Johannesburg. And that feels good. To the hotel just outside of Joburg Airport. So that was a flipping long trip. Africa is so big. Like, it might sound stupid, but on the map it doesn't seem that big. And you fly it, it just takes hours to get over like one little bit of the map. It's ridiculous. But never mind, we're here at Johannesburg. Survived Burkina Faso, which was nice. Survived flying A-Sky for 14 hours or whatever it was, down from Ouagadougou down to Johannesburg. And now I'm going to try and get a bit of sleep now, and then in the morning off to new adventures with somebody else potentially. So yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you'll figure out exactly who I'll be meeting on my next adventure and where we may be off to from this wonderful place of Johannesburg. Let me know what you thought to A-Sky down in the comments. They were all right, actually. I thought not too bad in the end. For a low-cost airline anyway, they were pretty decent. The crew, it was interesting. The crew at the beginning were right mardy and they weren't very nice at all when everybody was on board. But then as people started to get off the plane and they didn't have quite as much to do and they weren't quite as stressed, they kind of turned out to be quite lovely and were very nice and very chatty. So yeah, it's quite nice that. So yeah, A-Sky weren't too bad. It was very interesting flying through those other little airports all the way down. They do loads of little routes like that, so I may end up doing some more little routes connecting into some other random countries in Africa over the next sort of, well, I don't know, not on this trip, but at some point in the future I'd like to come back and do some more. But in the meantime, I'm off to get some sleep, so thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.